everyone, and welcome to Already Cancelled. I am Peter, that is Tara, and we are going to talk about the Twilight Zone Season 2, Episode 19. It is called Mr. Dingle the Strong. So full spoilers for the episode. As always, this episode features the schlub of a man, a regular well, not old. I just think of Buster Meredith, who plays the character, as being an old man all the time because I just know him from Rocky. But he's this sort of middle-aged guy who is very weak, is picked on a lot at the bar. He is a vacuum salesman who isn't very good at his job, and he's a bit of a dweeb. So a couple of aliens from Mars decide, as an experiment, just for a laugh, to give him some super strength. The strength of 300 men, to be specific. And it's about him exploring his newfound strength and how it changes his life and what he does with that strength. And then there's a really weird extra element at the end with more aliens, which we'll get into. So Tara, how did you feel about Mr. Dingle the Strong?
This episode was super goofy, and I kind of really enjoyed it. It doesn't have very high ratings, I don't think, but I mean, it's never not fun to watch Burgess Meredith.
No. And he's definitely playing this like a cartoon. The way he reacts to things, the way he kind of at first like feels different, or even just before he gets his powers, he starts like stammering a lot because he's really nervous, and like they're cartoon characters. There's like people, adults this age do not act like this.
And Don Rickles is in it, so you kind of know what you're getting. It's definitely a comedy episode. Yeah, I like it. I think it's all right.
Yeah, it's okay. It's kind of, it's not like a super, it's like memorable episode. I don't think it's got much of a message, just beyond a critique of, raw humans.
Bullying? I don't know.
I don't know. That's a critique. That's the thing. There is a critique of bullying, because I feel like even by the end of the episode, we kind of see Burgess Meredith's character as being kind of in the wrong as well for what he does with his powers. Mm-hmm. So,
but also that the aliens are kind of doing the same thing that they're accusing him of.
That's true. Yeah, there's a hypocrisy at play. Because the weird thing, so the aliens that come in and give him the power, they're invisible to the humans. They don't see them, right? But we see them. Mm-hmm. And I mean, we are humans, but we're humans outside of the TV show.
I'm just looking up something real quick. Do you watch The Simpsons?
I have seen The Simpsons in the past. It's been a long time.
Kang and Kodos. Do they remind you of these aliens at all?
I remember they're best on this.
A little. Okay, so it's a little bit. Yeah, obviously it's not the same because they're like tentacle aliens, but they're like two heads basically that talk like these aliens. They both have little like things that come out of their heads. I
can see the comparison. Because they're joined, they're in like one sort of unit, and you get the impression because they're sort of wheeling through the scene, right? You don't see any wheels, but they're sort of like
they look ridiculous.
There's clearly wheels at the base of this thing, which is essentially, I assume, a table where they're both kneeling on the table and their heads are both sticking up through a thing. What really stuck out to me is they've got Spock ears, but instead
they're made of hair.
Yeah, it's like it's like instead of makeup for the pointy ears, it's just hair that's pointing back the way. It's an interesting choice.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. So they give him this super strength, and then we'll get to what actually happens throughout the episode, but I just want to talk about the aliens just now. At the end of the episode, they just show up and sort of take the strength away again to end the experiment. They basically say, human beings, we give him the strength of 300 men, and all he does with it is show off and try to make money with it. He doesn't do anything important. So basically they're disappointed that he didn't become a superhero.
I think they're disappointed that he was exploiting the powers for entertainment purposes. Yes. But that's exactly what they're doing with him.
They wanted him to become Superman, and he instead just went, I can make a quick buck off of this. But so out of nowhere, these two, I thought it was like children of the same species, because these two kids came in and they were separated. They weren't like joined together, but it had very similar kind of overall feel to them.
They had antennas with eyes at the end of them,
and they came in and they don't even know the other aliens, because the aliens that are joined, who we find out in a minute, are the Martians, right? They go, hey, what are you doing here? Who are you? It's like, oh, we're from Venus. Where are you from? Oh, we're from Mars. Oh, yeah, we were studying on this human over here. They call him, what was his character's name? A Dingle. They call him a Dingle. and they basically say what they've done to him. And the Venus, the Venusians? I don't know what you...
Venusians?
Venetian, the Venetian, the Venetian aliens, they decide to do their experiment on him next. So the episode ends with Burgess Meredith, instead of having super strength, having a super brain, and he starts predicting who's going to hit what in the baseball game, and like, oh, this one guy's going to hit a home run because of these factors and whatnot.
Yeah. So presumably he's going to do the exact same thing.
Yes, he's going to use. Well, I mean, even these two characters he's talking to, what the two that were bullying him at the start, they are, one's a bookie and the other one's like a gambling addict. So I feel like he's going to go make some bets. Is the gist of what I'm getting here. But it's such a rant. Like, see when the other little, like, because it's obviously two kids who are playing them. When the two kids come in and then they say they're from Venus and the other two are from Mars, I was like, what is this episode? It's almost like the end of The Monsters of Judah Maple Street, but with this weird extra, like, two aliens from different planets bumping into each other going, oh, you're here making fun of the humans? Yeah, us too. Yeah.
Isn't it fun to mess with them?
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the most interesting part of the episode. I mean, the middle portion, which is Mr. Dingle getting his strength.
Yeah, lifting lots of things,
it's
breaking things.
It's a lot of, well, some of them are okay, but some of them are a little bit goofy. Like, see when he lifts up the bench in the park with the mother sitting on top of it? Like, yeah. Maybe this wasn't noticeable in the original version when it was broadcast, but in HD, the remaster, you can see all four strings on the thing. Like, the statue
too is clearly like swinging around.
Yeah. Oh, it's a shame he's not. I kind of had a sort of a modern day contextual chuckle at this, because obviously there's various stories of statues being toppled right now, and I actually thought, oh, it's a shame he's not around for that, because he did that quite easily. He just sort of picked it up and did a pose, easy peasy. So yeah, I mean, most of that stuff, I mean, there was a crushed alarm clock.
Yep.
Which
I'm glad they got to use that prop more than once.
I'm going to assume there was like 5 of them sitting there for multiple takes, and there was one left over, and that's why Rod Serling did that for these little teas at the end. That's my guess. Actually, something that is kind of unique about this episode is that Rod Serling has a 2-part intro, because he intros, like, as he always does, and he says, here's this character at the bar, here's this other character at the bar, and then he goes in, here's Mr. Dingle, and he explains all the characters, and then the scene plays out, and we get this whole fairly extended scene of the two guys arguing over the baseball game, and then bringing Dingle into it, and then Don Rickles punches him, and then punches
Don
him.
Rickles is so mean to him.
Oh, he's a complete dick in this episode. He's just so
quick to punch. I don't know why Burgess Meredith keeps coming back to this bar.
He keeps getting angry that
he also was told. He also tells us that he punched him last week too. So yes. Why would he come back?
And he punches him twice this episode. He also tells us basically that he doesn't like being contradicted, and that's why he keeps punching him. And it's like, well, stop asking him questions. Like, you literally bring him into the conversation. He's not even butting in because he hears you make a mistake. You go over and ask him, is this right or wrong? And he says it's wrong, and then you punch him for it. It's I don't know if it's quite entrapment, but it's
I mean, honestly, it's considered an honor to be attacked by John Rickles, but usually, he does it with words.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
In his famous roast.
I mean, let's be honest, it's a goofy comedy episode at its core.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, that's what it is. But as far as the goofy comedy episodes go, I did kind of have a decent time with this one. It's not...
Yeah. I think it's because of Burgess Meredith. He's just really fun to watch.
It probably is. That said, my favourite part is the ending where all the what the hell's happening with these aliens. Like, this is just so...
As soon as the aliens show up and they're having like this regular scene, and then there's the two conjoined aliens in the background the whole time. It's so silly to look at.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, it doesn't shy away from the goof.
Not at all.
Right from the beginning.
Not at all. We have he rips off the door at one point. He lifts up. I actually did a decent job with the car toppling over, because at one point he he sort of leans against the car, and the car kind of... I mean, the physics don't really quite make sense, but it looked good in terms of because the head parts of the car, so you could only see some of it, and it looked all right.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily understand though why with his super strength he was ripping off doors when he goes to open them, because is he not actually pressing the mechanism to release the thing so that it actually opens? Because when he goes to the car door, he just rips it off at the handle as soon as he goes to move it. Surely, if you've got super strength, it would still open normally to begin with, and then you just go too far past the hinges, and then you rip it off as you like open it all the way. That's where you rip it open.
Well,
with
those little
super
cars,
strength.
yeah, you have to. It is a like a sideways hinge. Like old refrigerators have that too, that you pull out, and there would be some kind of restriction before the door will open.
Yeah,
so maybe he's just anticipating that restriction, so he just pulls too far automatically.
I guess, but he's used these doors before. He knows he's supposed to, like, you know.
I guess I don't know.
I don't know.
It's camp. It's fun. It's a fun episode.
Yeah, no, I agree. I had decent fun with it. I'm just, if we're going to talk about it, I'm going to point out the little silly, logic holes in it.
I like the football effect when he throws a football to some kids that are also bullying him. Yes, and it's just like a cartoon of a white football going, I don't know, like, I think through Maple Street.
Yeah, it flies through the sky and then he ends up going into some guy's house. So here's
through a door.
Yeah, here's my question. So he ends up back at the bar, and there's like a news reporter crew coming because when he's in the park doing the statue thing, this reporter's over talking to him. So this TV cameraman comes down, and and I thought it was interesting that the TV camera is a studio camera. I don't know why that's the case, but whatever. Maybe
he
that's
looks like I think it's the same actor from the mannequin episode.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Who plays the TV reporter?
You could be right. But, so here's the thing. So there's a bit of a crowd, right, of reporters and whatnot, and they're asking him to prove his strength. And he, like, smashes a table in half. He rips a stool out of the floor. He does a bunch of different things. Mm-hmm. And then this is when the aliens show up and say, you know what, we're going to take these powers away in 30 seconds because all he's doing is using them for pointless exhibition. This is a laughing stock, these pesky humans. So as when his power runs out, he's claiming that he's going to lift up the whole building by just, like, moving his hands up at the ceiling. And he sort of like breaks one of the beams in half, which, by the way, if I was this bar owner, I'd be pissed at all this. He's ripping his stools out, he's breaking tables. It's all.
I mean, he asked for permission.
I mean, that's true. But basically, his power goes away, and then he tries to do some of the things he's already done. He tries to rip off a stool, he tries to smash a table, and it doesn't work. And they all start laughing, saying, you're a fake, and they leave. And I thought, wait a minute. You saw him do all those things in the first place, though. It's not like it erases the fact that you just saw all these things. Like, what did you think the first 3 attempts were that all succeeded?
Yeah, I don't know. There's an interesting bit of trivia also that one of their sponsors was a cigarette company. So, like, everybody in the scene is smoking. I don't know if you noticed that there's a lot of cigarette smoke in this episode.
I didn't, but I mean, I think I'm just used to Serling smoking, like, all the time. So
yeah,
it never caught me by surprise, I suppose.
I noticed it in the scene in the bar with the crowd because like a lot of people were just smoking, but turns out it's because their sponsor wanted an extra boost.
Definitely of a different era because you can't do that now.
Yeah.
So
surprised the alien children weren't smoking also.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past them. I mean, that's basically the episode. I mean, it's a lighthearted, it's kind of goofy. Like, if you don't like this one, I can't really blame you. I can't really tell you that you should like it if you don't.
No, like I get it. There's no real like standout message or moral or cautionary tale. It's just kind of fun.
Yeah, or even much of an atmosphere. Really, it's there to play for the jokes. And
I agree with what you said earlier. It's a cartoon.
It's a cartoon. Yeah, the best way to put it. It's a cartoon of an episode. But it's an okay cartoon of an episode, I suppose. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, they don't always, get comedy right in the show, but I think this one worked.
So, unfortunately, next time we've got a videotape episode. I recognise that look immediately when Rod Serling showed up at the end to tell us about Static, which is here's the description on IMDb. An old radio is taking bitter bachelor Ed Lindsay back to a happier time before what he considers a worthless tripe on television when he starts picking up radio programs from the 1930s and 40s.
Yeah, I've seen this one. I actually watched it pretty recently. I was visiting my parents, and of all things, they were watching The Twilight Zone, and this episode was on.
Interesting. I don't remember this one. What's funny is that the way Rod Serling described it is that it sounded like he was going to, find some stuff on some channels that aren't supposed to be there, right? But reading that description, I'm like, oh, so it's basically going to do just a different take on the walking distance or the actor one.
Trip.
Yeah, the actor one that we talked about, earlier this season. So, yeah, I mean, it's a thing they've done a couple times. It seems like it's usually is okay. Sometimes great. So we'll see how this one pans out. But is this the second last videotape episode? I think it is.
You're so worried.
I am, because they look like shit. I need them to be done so that I don't have to worry about it anymore. But that's the one that's coming up next. You can let us know what you thought of this one in the comments below. You can like and subscribe. Liking is really important because it means YouTube will recommend us out to more people. So please do that. You can also, of course, support us financially. Where, Tara?
That's right. If you are a fan of what we do and you want to support us, why check out our Patreon page. It's patreon.com/MalfuzzTV. And if you donate as little as $1 per month, you will get access to these Twilight Zone reviews 1 week early. And if you donate $5 per month, you will get to vote on other things that we do, what we watch every month. So if you're a fan of science fiction, check out our Atomic Cinema Experiment, which is our science fiction movie review. I'm so tense right now.
Also, did you say they get early access at $1?
I did. I lied.
I'll be honest, I wasn't really listening, and I heard just the end of your sentence, and then you said, and the $5. I'm like, wait, didn't you just say early access?
You're right. Early access is at $5.
Yes.
One day I'll get this right. But yeah, I think that's good. So thank you.
That'll do. Yeah, so thank you guys on Twitter at @mail_fuzz for channel updates and whatnot.
Can you believe that Peter actually asked me to intro?
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Maybe I'll make it a goal on the stream.
You can't make a train wreck right from the beginning. All right, you gotta save it for the end.
Maybe I'll make a goal on one of my streams or something. If I hit a certain amount, Tara will then intro like the next 10 Twilight Zone episodes.
No, I don't approve of this.
It should be like, hey everyone, welcome to the Twilight Zone.
To screams after, damn it.
Alright, as us, thank you very much once again for watching or listening. We always appreciate it. Keep watching television, guys, in the Twilight Zone.